Good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Bible class with Andre and Betty. We're continuing our studies from the book of 2 Samuel, and today we're in chapter 21. We will be looking at the reason for the 3-year famine that's going to be spoken of in this chapter. So we're focusing on the reason that the famine came. So then it's pointing back to when David and his people went back to Jerusalem after fleeing from Absalom. So verse 1, chapter 21 of 2 Samuel, verse 1. Then there was a famine in the days of David 3 years, year after year. And David inquired of the Lord, and the Lord answered, "It is for Saul. It's because of King Saul and for his bloody house, because he slew the Gibeonites." Now, the Gibeonites are the people who, in the days of Joshua, pretended to be from a far country when they were inhabitants of that very area. But because they had heard how God dealt with the people of Israel and how he had protected them, they thought that they would be killed because God had ordered that all of the people of Canaan land be destroyed. So these Gibeonites came into the land under the leadership of Joshua, and the princes of Israel made a vow to these Gibeonites. And so Israel could not destroy them because of the vow. And now these are the days of the kings, and David is king. During Saul's reign, I have not found this recorded in the Bible, but if some of you find it, please email me or give a comment on Facebook. But these Gibeonites were protected by Israel because of the vow they made that they would give them a place, not knowing that they were foreigners and not from the near, and that they were from a far country. That's what they told them, but actually they were inhabitants of the land that was conquered under Joshua. And so reading verse 2 again, and the king, that is King Saul, this is David, I'm sorry. And the king called the Gibeonites and said unto them, now the Gibeonites were not of the children of Israel, but of the remnant of the Amorites. And the children of Israel had sworn unto them. And Saul sought to slay them in his zeal to the children of Israel and Judah. So because of what Saul had attempted, that's the reason for the 3-year famine. Verse 3. Wherefore David said unto the Gibeonites, what shall I do for you? And wherewith shall I make the atonement that ye may bless the inheritance of the Lord, that you might bless the people of God and have this famine stopped? Verse 4. And the Gibeonites said unto him, we will have neither silver nor gold of Saul, nor of his house or his family. Neither for us shalt thou kill any man in Israel. And he said, what ye shall say, that I will do. So David is trying to understand, what can he do for the Gibeonites so that they would be relieved of this 3-year famine? Verse 5, and they answered the king, the man that consumed us and that devised or plotted against us, that we should be destroyed for remaining in any of the coast of Israel, let 7 men of his sons be delivered unto us, and we will hang them up unto the Lord in Gibeah of Saul, whom the Lord did choose. And the king David said, I will give them. And so we don't want any of Israel. We want the one man, his 7 sons, to be hung by us in order to relieve the famine. Verse 7, but the king spared Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul. He didn't give him over because of the Lord's oath that was between them, that is Jonathan and David, between David and Jonathan, the son of Saul. But, verse 8, but the king took the 2 sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, who she bare unto Saul, Armoni and Mephibosheth. This is not Mephibosheth, verse 7. This is from the son from Saul's concubine, Mephibosheth. And he also, the 5 sons of Michal, the daughter of Saul, whom she brought up for Adriel, the son of Barzillai the Maholathite. Now, in the 5 sons of Michal, Michal is the wife of David that was so ashamed of him when the ark came back into the land, and David was dancing, praising the Lord, and Michal didn't like that. And because of what she did, she would not be able to bear children, would be the consequences of her being that way with David. But she had a sister who had married this man Adriel. They had 5 children, and Michal helped him raise these 5 children. And so David gave these 5 sons to the Gibeonites, along with the 2 sons of his concubine. Verse 9. And he delivered them into the hands of the Gibeonites, and they hanged them in the hill before the Lord. And they fell all 7 together, and were put to death in the days of harvest, in the first days, in the beginning of barley harvest. And barley harvest always came before wheat harvest. So this was the beginning of barley harvest. Verse 10, and Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, took sackcloth and spread it for herself upon the rock from the beginning of the harvest until water dropped upon them out of heaven, and suffered neither the birds of the air to rest on them by day, nor the beasts of the field by night. So she's protecting their bodies from the vultures and the scavengers that would attack the dead bodies. And she did that for an undetermined amount of time, until rain came to drive them away. Verse 11, And it was told David what Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, the concubine of Saul, had done. Verse 12. And David went and took the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son from the men of Jabesh Gilead, which had stolen them from the street of Bethshan, when the Philistines had hanged them, when the Philistines had slain Saul in Gilboa. And that's recorded in 1 Samuel, the 31st chapter, verse 10. And this was when Saul and Jonathan and another son of Saul were killed. And they were killed by the Philistines. Verse 13. And he brought up from thence, David brought up from thence the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son. And they gathered the bones of them that were hanged, that is the seven above, the seven that we just talked about. Now, the men of Jabesh Gilead were the 2.5 tribes on the east side of the Jordan River. When they heard about Saul and Jonathan, Saul's sons being killed, they came and rescued them and had a burying ceremony for them. And these are the bones of them that David is going to bring back. Verse 14. And the bones of Saul and Jonathan, his son, buried they in the country of Benjamin in Zelah, in the sepulchre of Kish, his father. Saul's father's name was Kish. So they were buried in his sepulchres. And they performed all that the king commanded. The Gibeonites, and after that, God was entreated for the land. That means the famine was lifted. And now we're going to see the giants in the land being defeated by David and his men. Verse 15. Moreover, the Philistines had yet war again with Israel. And David went down, and his servants with him, and fought against the Philistines. And David waxed fat, or he was faint, he was weak. Verse 16. And Ishbi-Benob, which was one of the sons of the giant, the weight of whose spear weighed 300 shekels of brass in weight, he being girded with a new sword, thought to have slain David. But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, helped David. Then the men of David sware unto him, saying, You shall go no more out with us to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel, that is the genealogy leading up to Christ, through the Hebrew people. Verse 18. And it came to pass after this, that there was again a battle with the Philistines at Gob. Then Sabbatai the Hushathite slew Soph, which was of the sons of the giant. Verse 19. And there was again a battle in Gob with the Philistines, where Elhanan, the son of Jehoiakim, a Bethlehemite, slew the brother of Goliath, the Gittite, the staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam, or artistically crafted. Verse 20. And there was yet a battle in Gath, where was a man of great stature. that had on every hand 6 fingers, and on every foot 6 toes, 24 in number. And he also was born to the giant. Verse 21. And when he defied Israel, Jonathan, the son of Shemaiah, the brother of David, killed him or slew him. So this is not Jonathan, Saul's son. This is the son of David's, one of David's brothers. Verse 22. These 4 were born to the giant in Gath, and fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants. So in 1 Samuel 17, David killed Goliath. And there are 4 other giants in the land of the Philistines trying to go against the nation Israel. So in total, 5 giants were slain by David and his men. And this is God moving forward in bringing the children of Israel forward in the consummation of who and when the nation Israel will be governed by Jesus and the millennial kingdom. And I know I put a lot of information in my deliverance of these lessons, but if you have questions or comments, just send me. My email address is bjt1125@yahoo.com, and I'm also have a Facebook page. So let me know your questions and I will answer them directly. And thank you all for your subscriptions, and many of you are viewing because I get a monthly report, but you're not liking or you're not putting where you like or dislike the lesson. So if you would do that, it would greatly help me. You all have a great day and a great week. Bye.